So I get off the podcast with Matthew, and he's like, you should just do something, man.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, you know what? He's right. So I'm like, well, I'll see what's going on. And then there was some, like, thing at the hotel that tells you what's happening in the city that day or whatever. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. So, and there was a Clippers game. So I'm like, oh, man, I haven't been to an NBA game in so long. This would be so fun. So I'm like, well, I'll see how far away the stadium is if I feel like Ubering over there, like with the crowds and all this shit.
Yeah,
like blah,
traffic
blah, blah.
and shit.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, you know, game's at 7:30. It's like 6:30 right now. And so I put in my GPS, crypto.com arena, whatever it is now, and it says 800 feet away.
Oh, dude.
So I look out my window and down at the street, and there's all these people in Clippers jerseys like walking one way. So I'm like, fuck, okay, it's an hour before the game. I got time. I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
So I go and I look, and there's one like courtside seat available. And it's not like right at the court,
Yeah.
you know, where like the celebrity sit or whatever. It's like right back, but it's still like technically courtside.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's not like those 1 or 2 rows or whatever.
yeah, you're
that
not
are,
sitting
like,
next to Shaq.
yeah, exactly. But it's still like these courtside seats. And so I click on it, and it was $500.
That's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying, dude. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. So I get the ticket, and I just walk across the street to the arena, and I go in, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't really know where to go. Like, I don't know. So I just I walk all the way down.
Following people.
I just walk. I go into one entrance, and I walk all the way down to the bottom, and, you know, there's a woman standing there. And I'm like, hey, I don't know where to go. I'm like showing her my ticket. She's like, have you ever sat down here before? I'm wearing my jean jacket and my It's Clobbering Time Fantastic Four Thing t-shirt. I'm like, no, actually. This is a,
what do you think?
This is a first for me. I got my Bart Simpson hat on. So she's like, okay, this is where you sit right here. And then if you go that way through the gate, there's like a guy with a red jacket. Show him your ticket, and he'll show you there's like the Lexus Lounge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, okay. So I go to the guy with the red jacket, and I'm like, where do I? And he's just like, there's so many people over here. He's just like pointing, and so now I go into the tunnel, and I'm under the stands. I'm in the back of the arena, and there's like this weird. It's almost like that Eyes Wide Shut. Like there's this weird translucent like curtain.
Yeah.
Of blue with like the Lexus logo on it, and you go through there, and dude, they have like a meat carving station, they have sushi, there's 2 bars, and guess what? It's free.
Oh my god.
It's all free. It all comes with the ticket.
Hammered?
Dude, my pockets were full of hot dogs.
This is for later.
Yeah.
So for later.
I'm like going nuts in this place. So I go to my seat, and I'm sitting down next to this woman who like looks like a typical
Insane.
like Los Angeles lady.
Yeah.
Like she looks like she
never worked a day in her life like that.
Kind of, but she looks like, you know how the Kardashians, like if you look at pictures of them as kids, they're like ugly kids, but then they got money and they like look really pretty now. That's what she looked like. She looked like maybe she was kind of homely when she was young, but now she's like rich, and she's got like, and she's
Everybody
fucking gorgeous.
gets the fucking
Yeah.
those surgeries out there.
And
in Miami.
and her husband is sitting next to her, and he looks like a handsome version of Turtle from Entourage, like exactly like that. So I'm like, I am going to be best friends with this guy, and I'm looking down, and he's got Prada sneakers on that look like they're fresh out of the box.
Oh my god,
like crazy. So I'm like, okay, how do I get in with this guy? I'm like talking to him a little bit, and then we're watching the game, and I toss a couple jokes out there. There's one guy who's dressed in like short shorts and big goggles, and he like makes a, you know, he gets fouled, so it goes to the line. I'm like, this guy came all the way back from 1983 to make these free throws, and he loved that. So I'm like, fuck yes, Jerry Ferraro.
You're hitting.
Yeah. So then I end up hanging out with them at the Lexus Club and stuff, and they're both personal injury attorneys.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to go to Rodeo Drive and like go to like the Louis Vuitton store and like all the shopping. I'm like, that sounds great.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
So man,
maybe I'll see you guys there.
You know, it was $500. Like it was not cheap, but also when you're sitting at those seats, they have you don't have to go to get food or anything. There's a waitress, dude.
Oh, really?
She comes up and they give me. I still have the paper menu that says Crypto.com Courtside menu
That's
on it.
sick.
Yeah, and they'll bring you like whatever you want. You just order it for her.
Can you give me some hot dogs? I lost my jeans.
Yes, 100%, man. So then, I just have this moment where I'm sitting there.
Watching
Drinking,
the Clippers lose by 25.
Well, they were playing the Pacers, so it was a shitty game.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's just bricks
So it was
after
close.
bricks.
But I'm sitting there at one point. I got my legs crossed, and I'm drinking a glass of Cabernet courtside at the Clippers game. I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever done.
That is
ridiculous. So, and that was before the conference even started. So I'm like, you know what? No matter what happens at this thing, this trip was worth it. Like, that was so fun.
That was sick.